What up, yo? We're live. PGN podcast, episode 87. We're here in the building. I was saying in the hot takes and the the hottest sports topics throughout the week. You know what I'm saying? I think Kofi does a pretty good job keeping up with all that stuff and informing us on all the stuff that's going on. So always appreciate Kofi for doing that. But yeah, we're here. So how was your guys' week before we get into it?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
It was the usual. I don't know if you guys noticed, but fortunately the mosquitoes got me, especially on my face. I've lived in this building for 25 years, 21 in this particular unit. Never had issues with mosquitoes, so this is the first time I had it, and as you can see, my face isn't looking all that great because of that. So fortunately for me, I got to deal with that. I just bought some off spray, so hopefully when it comes, I can put that shit on, and hopefully don't have to worry about just mosquitoes. But other than that, typical.
Hate mosquitoes.
Yeah. Same.
What is their purpose?
No idea.
Gotta look that up.
For me, nothing really too crazy. Went to a comedy show on Friday, as you guys saw on by the post. It's actually really fun. They do it there once a week. McGovern's, shout out to McGovern's for allowing me to do it out there. They do a show Monday and they do a show Friday. So laugh humor. If you guys ever want to just go get some jokes, go to McGovern's every Friday and Monday.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go one day. I saw that. Try it out. I mean, I'll see the comedians up there because that's not easy. Like
No.
people
And they
have
have
told me
open
like,
mic too.
oh, you're kind of funny. You should go up there. I'm like, dude, it's a whole different animal up there. Like
It is. I mean, you got to tell jokes for an hour straight and making them funny, making the crowd funny. You got to react to the crowd too, and all that stuff. Yeah.
Dude, when you do the first time, like the sets you're supposed to have, I like research this a little bit. Like the sets they do is like 3 minutes when they first start. 5 minutes. That's a long time up there to tell a joke.
Yep.
You'd be surprised like when you're telling a joke and you look at it, you're like, damn, it's like only a minute passed by. It's like, and if you see shit like Kill Tony, when they only give them a minute,
Yep.
they bang out like 6, 7 jokes in that minute.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's telling a joke, bro. It's like it takes like 30 seconds to like a minute to tell a joke. So even 5, 6 minutes up there is a long fucking time. You better have like 30 jokes on deck.
Yep.
That are
You
funny.
have to.
You know, so I had a comedian said one time, which is to look at it that way. He's like, there's a difference between like you telling a joke like at a party because sometimes you're just there chilling and most of the time the joke why it's funny is because it's kind of out of nowhere.
Yes.
Like, kind of random.
Yeah.
But it's different when when the person is sitting in front of you and goes, all right, make me laugh. Like, go ahead, make me laugh. If someone does that to you on the spot, even just one person, you'll be stuck. You'll be like, what do I do? Like, do I make a face? Like, I don't know. Like, you'd be stuck.
Yeah.
So he said that's the hardest part is like when someone sits down in front of you, like, tell me how to laugh, tell me to laugh, make me laugh. It's like, bro, they already have the notion that you're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
So you gotta go hard. You know what I mean? So it's tough. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll try it. What's the worst that happen?
Yeah, and the thing is, they have open mic. They have an open mic session. So, like, if you ever want to go up, you want to do a little 5 minute stretch, like you were saying, they have it the mic there for people. You want to try your stuff. Hey, like, listen. One thing I've watched from that Jerry Jones thing: life is all about risk. No risk, no reward.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into that. Later on. Yeah, thanks, Doc. You should think about it. We've said it for years since I've known you that you have the comedian chops to do it. So, is it something you considered?
I'll give it a try. I'll give it a whirl sooner than later. See,
you got plenty of stuff to joke about.
It's about timing.
Yeah, it is.
Get the timing down. Get the rhythm down. You gotta know your sets. Like I see a lot of, but that's for the. I'm gonna go out there, shoot from the hip.
Yeah, and it's different when you're on the stage because I performed like making music for years.
Yeah.
So I've done like maybe over 100 performances. You know what I'm saying? So now, like, even if I go up there and fucking bomb, I don't give a shit. I'm so comfortable up there.
Yep.
But that takes a long time, bro. Like
Yeah,
Mhm.
that in itself, getting comfortable on stage takes a long time.
Yep.
Because they when I went to I mean, I'm sure you guys went to college. You had to do public speaking.
Yes.
You see how hard it is for people to actually even just
Hmm.
read in front of a class. You know how to read, but then they go, okay, Mr. Martinez, do fucking pages 53 to 56. Read it right now in front of the class. All of a
Yeah.
sudden you can't pronounce letters and
That's
fucking
tough.
you
it
tripping
is.
over
Yeah,
your words and shit. So just even speaking publicly is tough, but then now I'm getting on stage. That in itself is a battle.
Yep.
Let alone telling the joke. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's not easy.
You got to. You got to. It's a skill. It's a skill, but it's like anything. You got to work on it. Just get better
Yeah.
at it.
All right, let's get into it.
Oh, well, let's come back. You didn't talk about your week, did you?
I ain't do shit as always. Went to work, went to the gym.
Yeah.
Chilled with my son. He's getting into baseball now.
What's
So,
up?
yeah, he joined a fucking baseball league real quick. Just real quick, but and his mom fucking being, whatever. She didn't ask me about it. I'm like, dude, you should ask me about this stuff because he's 14. It's hard to learn baseball at
That's
14.
right.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You know
kind
what
of
I'm
late.
saying?
Kind of late.
Yeah, and it's actually a lot of skill. People, if you haven't played baseball, you gotta teach a lot because you gotta learn how to catch a ground ball, pop fly, line drive, play
Yep.
first, second base. Every position you got is playing is different.
Yeah.
Fielding
Baseball and run the
itself,
bases.
yeah,
You
just
gotta
running
learn
the
the
bases. You
signs.
gotta know how to run the bases. He said, "I can run the base." I'm like, dude, you don't know what running the bases means.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is that just running around? It's a way to run on the bases. Like,
Yep.
so that I kind of was going through that over the weekend. Like 14, he really joined the league. She paid for it and everything. So I'm like, dude, he got a fucking yo, and then it starts September 13th. So like, dude, I got a month to teach this kid the basics of baseball. Like, dude, the kid, he never even caught the ball before, like threw back and forth,
So
catching.
he doesn't even know how to like look the ball, look it in when he's like, oh man,
No,
oof.
Ooh.
but
Good luck with
surprisingly, yesterday when we were fielding, he was catching the ball
Okay.
pretty good, and I
All right.
was and first time catching yesterday, and I started. He was catching it. I was like, all right, I'm gonna start throwing hard now. So I was throwing hard. He was catching it.
Okay.
He caught like most of the pop. He dropped a lot, but he caught most of the pop flies. So I give myself one thing: he's a quick learner. Like he learned basketball pretty quick. He learned boxing pretty quick. I think he's just, he's a kid. If a kid wants to do something, they'll learn
I'll
fast.
do it. Yep.
Yeah.
That's when they're at their peak.
And the thing is, it's going to be you got to tell him they're going to be different signals because your coach. You remember, he's on third, you're on bat. Your coach is
Yeah,
giving you the bunt where you got to bunt, whether you got to
bro, it's a
hit.
lot. He's gonna
Yeah,
be.
it
He's gonna be.
is a lot. It is
Yeah,
a
he's gonna
lot.
he's gonna he's gonna learn the hard way. He's like, I can do it. I'm like, all right, you know, we'll see. But yeah, let's get into it now.
All right. The NFL preseason is it just ended yesterday. So some quick takeaways from what we saw through those 3 weeks. And then the general takeaway I have is that teams are more willing to play the starters, and I think that shift started with Sean McVay. He was the one where it's like, hey, I'm not going to play my starters at all. And I think teams are now saying, you know what, maybe that's not such a great idea. We want to have our players get used to getting hit and making plays and stuff like that. I think two teams in particular are doing it are the Bengals and the Giants. And these are two teams that haven't had good starts in the last few years. So they're trying to maybe change it up a little bit, maybe, especially Joe Burrow. You saw the game against the Commanders. He played much of the first quarter. In fact, he got hit one play. Everybody's like, hey, what are you doing trying to scramble and all that? But I think it's really showing you that teams are just like, hey, we get our guys rounded into form before the first game. We don't want them to have a slow start going into that first game. So, and on the other end, you see teams like the Bills, for example, they're not playing the starters at all. And Sean McDermott got mad last week against the Chicago Bears. They played terribly. He was mad, and I'm like, you didn't play your starters. And as a Bills fan, that's concerning to me because there's gonna be injuries. So if these backups aren't playing well, that's not a good sign for the Bills. But I think they have Josh Allen, so I'm not overly concerned, but it is something in the back of your mind to consider if the Bills have some injuries, specifically in the defensive end. And my second takeaway is Anthony Richardson. That's an example of a pick where like we said with Josh Allen. Josh Allen's an outlier. Like you saw stat. I'll read his stats right now in college. In college, he had 44 touchdowns, 21 interceptions, 56.2 completion percentage, and he threw over 5,000 yards in 27 starts from 2015 to 2017. And you compared it to Anthony Richardson, who had 24 touchdowns, 50 interceptions, a completion percentage of 54.7, and over 3,000 yards. So their stats are comparable. So I'm pretty sure the coach will be like, oh, we got the next Josh Allen on our team. But the difference being, Josh Allen, he put in the work. Every offseason I was reading, he went to Jordan Palmer. He kept working on it every single year. Anthony Richardson, I don't know. I don't know if he's doing that. I don't think he is, but I don't know. But it's clear that the development in terms of him is not where it was with Josh Allen. You saw the first couple of years. Yeah, there were a lot of mistakes. He threw a lot of turnover. He had a lot of turnovers, but you saw the potential there. Anthony Richardson, you see the potential, but it seems like the processing is a lot slower for him. And I think the Colts are just like, hey, Jim Mercy passed away, so now his daughter's taking over. This is a very important year for us. If we're not good, we're out. Chris Ballard's out. Shane Steichen's out. So I think that's why they're going with Daniel Jones. Now, do I think Daniel Jones is a good option? No, but you probably have a better chance to have success with Daniel Jones than Anthony Richardson. So those are my quick takeaways. I'll start with you, Saints. What are your quick takeaways to NFL preseason?
Listen, I love what I've seen from the Patriots. That's one thing I like. Trayvon Henderson is the man. That said, Drake May is looking like an absolute stud. Won the first two games. Didn't expect us to beat the Giants because no one was playing. But to go back to Anthony Richardson. But the thing about Anthony Richardson, like I didn't like was that y'all knew he was a project. Y'all took him high. That was kind of on you guys. You guys should have known from the start he was a project. He didn't have that many starts in college. We kind of got it. You know, he had a big arm, but his mechanics were bad. Like, bro, we saw it last year. There were times where I'm like, yo, bro, you can't throw a 5-yard out the same way you throw a 60-yard bomb. Everything is just a bullet. So like they wanted to take him down. Like, but even during preseason, he got the play he got injured on. That was a blitz you should have seen. I was like, oh dog, there's just mechanics there that are just really bad. But it was also like y'all just gave up on him. Then y'all bring Daniel Jones in, and it's like Daniel Jones. Sorry, scumbag. I know you guys. I know you hate DJ, but
no, he might not care anymore. He might not care anymore.
The fact that he came in and took your job, and then the worst thing is, it wasn't even like, yo, it's gonna be like a game to game. They're like, no, he has no short leash. I was like, oh, it's over. It's over. Man's career in Indianapolis is over. I think he can go somewhere else and start again. But for right now, man, it is not looking good. Also, the Browns, Dylan Gabriel played good yesterday. Got to give him his credit. I always give players credit when they go out there and shine. Shador had a rough outing, but it's a third string backups. I kind of get it. You're not gonna do much with that. And then the Browns are saying they don't know who's gonna start. That's just the Browns. I don't really
they already
know.
said Flacco. They already said Flacco started.
No, but I mean, like they don't. They're just like, they gave us everything we got. I'm like, yo, dog, this is why you guys are the skid marks for a reason. You like Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco don't want to play 17 games this year. He wants to play 4 games, magically get hurt, and get elected check. I got no problem with that, bro. I got no problem with that. But like those are the real big things that stood out to me. The Bengals, that's a dumpster fire waiting to happen. Joe Burrow's gonna have to throw for 5,000 yards and still only win 8 games. So there's none there that the Bengals can do. If I'm Joe Burrow, I'm giving it 2 seasons. I might start thinking to move. If that offensive line does not get any better, and that defense is a travesty. Ugh.
Let's come back. What are your thoughts?
I think that was a good point. That one thing you brought up was that at least now more teams were playing their starters. I feel like the Bears did it too. I think Caleb didn't play the first one, but the last ones he was playing and he looked great. And it pissed me off a little bit because I was hoping Caleb would drop in my fantasy draft that I have coming up next week.
We gotta start doing some fantasy.
I didn't want him to play at all. So I wanted him to be like, because out of training camp, there's been bad things saying about Caleb. He's not catching the offense.
Yeah.
I didn't believe those rumors. I'm like, nah, he got this shit. So I'm like, I'm doing like, like mock drafts, he's drafting a 13th, 14th round. I'm like,
Mhm.
hell yeah, I'll take Caleb fucking 13th round. You know what I mean? And then the last 2 fucking games, he's fucking done great. And
Yep.
it's like, oh shit, now he's like a fucking 10th, 9th rounder. Fuck. But anywho's, I think that's good for Caleb. Bears bringing in Ben Johnson. And that's one thing that a lot of teams don't do now. You know, if you have a new offensive coordinator, right? Yeah, and this offensive coordinator had brought in his guys, his new philosophy, all this shit. Why aren't you playing your starters? You know what I'm saying? Like, were the Lions playing their starters? I didn't really see anything
No, I
like
don't think
that.
so.
Oh,
No.
they
You
didn't play
got a whole
anyone.
new offensive coordinator.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all should be at least play 2 drives. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, and I think that was Dayball was smart to do that because I'm a Giants fan. I want to see how Russell Wilson's doing.
Yep.
I want to see. You gotta understand this too. You're a team, but you're also a business. You
Yes.
gotta show me what you have coming up for the season to get me a little excited. Hey, you know what? It might be bullshit. It might be smoke and mirrors.
Yep.
Jackson Dart might be ass. Russell Wilson
Yep.
might be ass this year. I don't know. But from the preseason, they look dope.
Yeah, they
Hey,
look
you know
great.
what?
Yeah.
I might go see a game this year. I might go see a game this year just off the preseason. I got
Yeah.
soup.
Mm.
Some teams owners don't look at it that way. Like you advertising your team. If
Yep.
your team out there and does great, that's single sells. I guess the fan base excited to see the games.
Yep.
So I think it works on both sides. That's why they should play their starters more in the preseason. But I was glad, like Kofi was saying, more teams were doing it this year than in previous years, and I think you should. And it's like if you know it is like me playing fantasy, I never seen as many fucking injuries in football ever. A lot, and there's a lot of soft tissue injuries.
Yep.
And all the old players are like, bro, that's not wear and tear. That's you not using it enough.
Mhm.
Yep.
So when you're chilling all preseason, you're on the couch, you're at a party, you're fucking at an orgy and shit, with mad baby oil flying everywhere and shit.
You get back into
You know what
shape.
I'm saying? Shit
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
shit just going out
Yeah.
of control, man.
Yeah.
You got
It's
Stephon Diggs
tough.
on a boat with fucking pink dust. I don't know what
We
the
don't
dust
talk about
was.
that.
I
He
don't
was
know
ready
nothing
for
about that
practice,
stuff. I'm
though.
just saying.
Yeah,
Don't
he
say
looked
that.
good in practice. He's looked
He
good in
was
practice
ready.
though.
He was ready. He's ready. He
Yeah.
dumped her and he's ready. He
Yeah.
dumped her. He's
Yeah.
ready.
I hope he's ready. He might be a new Michael Irvin.
Oh yeah, we'll
No,
definitely get into
don't
that.
do that. The coat was there, bro. It was needed. The mink coat was needed.
Nah, but yeah, they're not doing it seriously, and it's like you can't go. Then the game one comes. You didn't play all preseason. You're going soft to practice.
Yep.
Now the energy's up. Everything's ramped up. Hype. You go to fucking do a quick ass move. Bam. You blow your fucking
Yep.
hamstring out. Bam. You blow your Achilles out. It's like, dude, you know what I mean? Like, you got to play your people. If they get like, honestly, I've seen people get hurt in the preseason, but not really. It's happened. Like, remember that one infamous one? I think Brady, right? Did Brady hurt in the preseason? He was
No,
out
I
for
think
like 6-7
wasn't
weeks.
it Vic? I think Vic got hurt in the preseason, right? Or was it the first game of the season? I don't remember, but
Yeah, I know. The biggest one from when I was growing up was Trent Green. He signed to the Rams. I think it was. Yeah, he was a free agent. He signed to the Rams, and he was a backup in Washington, and he got big hype, blah blah blah, and the Rams signed him to a big contract. He never started before like that. So when he played, he got a big contract. For I think it was like the first drive, bam, towards Achilles, towards ACL. A guy ran into his knee, and that was the story of Kurt Warner. That's how Kurt Warner got the job.
Mhm.
So that's the biggest one. So what we're scrummaging here to name injuries. Well, we named the audience we watched a big injury was what 2-3 guys, 4, 5 tops out of the fucking 30 years I've been watching fucking football. So what is this you're trying to like dispel? That happens all the time, and you have to play them because you don't want them going 0-100 and getting injured first second game of the year, out 3-4 fucking those soft tissue injuries, hamstrings and all that shit. They're out 4, 5, 6 weeks sometimes with a hamstring.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So That's why I think they should play more. I totally agree with Kofi with that. I just wanted to go into all that because I just think that should be more. Stars should be playing more. You know what I'm
Like
saying?
think about it for like this for the team like Commanders. Terry McLaurin isn't playing. You don't know when he's going to come back because even if you pay him, he's played no preseason games. You're going to tell him to come get in practice, come get in shape, hamstring, this, that. Like you're saying, I'm not saying we're not saying play the whole game, but you at least got to play like 2 drives, see what you're doing,
Yeah,
get out,
yeah,
boom, bang, boom. All right, like Joe Burrow, he was in there. You saw him. He played two. He was like, they were like, this falls like take him out, but at least he's getting in rhythm. The problem with a lot of these players are they think they're too big for it because if you're Aaron Rodgers, you're 40. I get it. You don't really do what you got to do. But if you're young, you gotta get in rhythm. You get receivers. You gotta get better rhythm with your quarterbacks. Those type of things matter. And when you don't do it, and then you just jump in, now you're hurt. Hamstring lingering in. It goes on. Football's all about repetition. You got to be in it. You got to get ready.
That's what's going to be really interesting in that first game between the Bills and the Ravens. Neither Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson played in the preseason, so I'm gonna see how both of them look in that first game. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I think that is the biggest story of the preseason. Biggest story of the preseason is the starters playing. Probably actual biggest story was a Shador thing going on. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's kind of calmed down now a little bit. So he struggled a little bit yesterday. We already know Flacco starting. We know they already have Dylan Gabriel ahead of him in the depth chart. We just gotta see how the year plays out now. You know what
And
I'm
we got to
saying?
see if they're going to trade Kenny Pickett or not. Because they
Yeah.
say they're going to carry 4. I'm not sure about that. I think they
No,
might
no,
still
no.
trade him.
They'll probably give it. We're ready, Kenny Pickett, but
Hey,
it
the
was
Saints,
just
the
it
Saints
was
need a
just silly.
quarterback. I'm just saying. The Saints need a quarterback. So
Saints just need help all around. Like the
Their
Saints are just
quarterback.
that's a terrible.
Saints need Jesus.
It's a terrible franchise,
Their
man. Like
team
I
is
feel bad for them, man.
the
Like,
team is
but like,
annihilated.
think
but
about it. Think about it. Both franchises, both them and the Pelicans, the same owner too, Gail Benson. So yeah,
this
good
is
luck
why
with
some
that.
people can't be in charge. Some people need to be fired or relieved from their duty because you ain't doing a good job if both of your teams both are bad. Just saying.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, and actually, one of the stories of the preseason, as far as talent wise that I saw was I think Travion Henderson. He made a name for himself this
Yeah,
preseason.
yeah.
I think he made a lot of plays. He looked crazy explosive.
Uh-huh.
I was hoping another motherfucker. I was hoping not to play the preseason because remember I said that shit when we I think we returned the punt, the kickoff.
Yep.
I was like that fantasy alert. You know what I'm saying? Like I was hoping he wouldn't play because I knew he fit that system well. He's gonna be the new James White over there.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
yeah. So I think Patriots looking on the up and up. Only thing is your receivers. Your receivers are a
Yeah,
little.
that's what I'm trying to say. Like
But
if
but Stephon Diggs say he's had a good camp. They say he looks normal off the ACL, which is kind of crazy. He kind of came. They thought he was gonna kind of come in, easy. But they say he looked good. And who you have? You have but they said Demario Douglas has had a good training camp. He's been decent for you guys.
yeah, I get
He's
it,
been
but
decent.
I know, but we need another. We just need we're like a playmaker away from really
They
making
say Kyle
noise.
Williams is good. The rookie Kyle Williams. They say he's good. I don't know. We gotta see. They didn't play him that much in the preseason, but
That's what you
I
see
heard I heard
now.
he's good. So hey, you got Hunter Henry, and what's his name? Drake May.
Yeah, no, Drake May's the
Fantasy
guy.
sleeper. Fantasy
But
sleeper.
get him like if the Commanders don't want him, throw the book at that month. Go get Terry McLaurin, get Scary Terry. I'm telling you, bro, that will change the whole picture. Now I'm thinking, okay, now we here, because God, I like Stephon Diggs, but he's coming off ACL. He's older,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna put a lot of pressure on him because you're your number one guy. And that's how people get hurt again. It's like, yo, you're gonna look for him every route. That's the only thing I'm worried about. Kyle, he's good, but once again, he's a rookie. He's still developing on defenses, catching up to speed. That's why I think. But I think you should play him in preseason to see how he can go out there. But he's not going to play against the number one player, so
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see when he gets there. Regular season is around the corner. 2 weeks. I can't wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the return of MVP picks. I already got some already for week 1 already. I'm excited for that.
I'm ready for PGN bets. All right, bets. PGN
uh,
bets. PGN
I
bets will be
bet.
back, people.
I don't bet. Fuck that.
yeah, I'm not much of a better either, so it's gonna be you and EP once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's get to the next one.
All right, the next one, Netflix released their 8-part documentary on the Dallas Cowboys. It's called America's Team, The Gambler and His Cowboys. Now, I watched the first 5 episodes of the documentary series. Saints, you watched them all, right?
Yeah, watch
And
all
Scumbag,
these.
have you watched any of the episodes?
I watched up to episode 6, so I got 7 and 8 left.
Okay, so yeah, so we've pretty much all seen it. So I'll take my thoughts on it. I guess the takeaway for me is you see why Jerry Jones became successful and why he was able to buy the Cowboys. He took a lot of risk. I mean, there's a story about how he had a business relationship with Jimmy Hoffa. I was like, what? What? I never heard that. He knows about the Chargers. His dad talking about it, which was good on his dad's part because, oof, imagine that. That would have been crazy. But in terms of all the risks he took in terms of the oil wells, all the business he did before he got the Cowboys. Then when he got the Cowboys, he fired Tom Landry.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously Landry at that point he was kind of older and maybe things were falling apart anyway. But hey, it took a lot of galls to do it. To fire him and then hire Jimmy Johnson from the Miami Hurricanes. That took a lot of guts, and it worked out for him. But you kind of see why maybe things are not what they are to the Cowboys now. Jerry Jones doesn't take those same type of risks now. Brian Schottenheimer is now the coach. He's really hired mostly yes men. He doesn't want to hire the Jimmy Johnsons. The only one coach he hired recently that was like, hey, I'll let the coach have some power was Bill Parcells. So you kind of see why the Cowboys are where they are now in terms of Jerry Jones. But no question, the '90s Cowboys. You got to give them credit for building that team. I mean, that was a dynastic team. Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, the offensive line. Getting Charles Hill from the Niners. The Niners talk about how that was a mistake, even though he had his problems with the Niners. But it was that was a real, and you kind of see it. That episode 3 was probably the best episode in the series, in my opinion, because it showed Jerry Jones's backstory, how he became what he was before he built the Cowboys, and then they talked about that 92 NFC Championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, you could tell football was different back then. Physical, you could just tell it was a war between those two teams, and you knew whoever won that game was going to the Super Bowl. As a Bills fan, I talk about the Bills and those teams. They were good teams, but they just weren't as good as the Cowboys and the Washington team before. The only one they should have won was the first one. And we know what happened there. So, and you can still see the animus between Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson. They still haven't worked things out. They're a little better, but you can still tell there's something there between those two.
It's never gonna work itself out.
Credit. It was just two egos that couldn't coexist. And I don't think Jimmy Johnson would have stayed as long anyway. And they talk about how he wanted the Jacksonville job possibly, and he was too much of a hard ass. The players, I think they would have got sick of him eventually too. So if it wasn't Jerry Jones that would have got sick of him, I think the players would have got sick of him too. But no question, he did a great job with that run he had. And then the comparison to Barry Switzer, he was a crazy uncle, man. You could tell he was just like, I don't really want this job, but hey, it's the Cowboys. I can win the Super Bowl. You know what? There was a story where he was like, they had a bad practice. He's like, you know what, guys? Just go to the pool, man. And Troy was like, yeah, things are different. Because Jimmy Johnson, he was on them every day. Barry Switzer was like, it is what it is. It's just football. Let's just, relax and have fun. And
he's like that even in old age. You can tell he's just like a chill guy.
Yeah.
He probably smokes weed, just chills out, looks over the pool. Like I'm like, hey man, sometimes you need, like, I know Scumbag don't like talking about this, but Tom Coughlin was kind of a hard ass. They had to have that meeting with him and tell him, yo, pull that shit out. The players were like, "Yo, we not doing all that type of stuff." It happens. It happens. So like, it just depends on what you do as a coach.
Yeah. So things out. You saw the whole thing. So what were your overall takeaways from that doc?
Oh, oh, listen. If you are not watching anything right now, I would say watch the America's Dream, the Cowboys. Yo, I'm telling you, Jerry Jones. I get we make fun of him now because he's erratic. He's older. He's like all the old, but that man in the 80s, dog, the risk, the fact that he would say, I remember the first episode. The first episode got to me. The third episode was the best, but the first episode hooked me in because he's doing all these moves. He's getting death threats. He had to go to Supreme Court. He's like, yo, they trying to kill me because he fired Tom Landry. But the Cowboys fans forget he just lost 13 games that season that he fired him for. I'm like, yo, dog, the 77, you won it 71 and 77. It's over. It's 88. He's had 11 bad years. He took the risk. He was like, yo, fuck it. If you are doing anything, this show will tell you, put all your chips to the table. Because that's what Jerry did. Jerry's like, yo, I ain't got nowhere else to go. This shit has to work. Now, I was like, yo, you know what? I'm not even a Jerry Jones fan, but I fuck with you right now, man. You speaking some shit right now. And the fact that he went through all of this shit, did this, brought the Cowboys up, putting money into them. You got Michael Irvin, who's crazy, but that's Michael Irvin. That's playmaker. You got to deal with that. You get dealing with Jimmy Johnson. They're never gonna get along because that's just two egos. No one's willing to admit, hey, yo, you know what? You did that. I did that. That's not gonna happen. And you could tell the media was eating that up. Bob Costas in their face saying, "Does he know more football?" It's all that little shit, and then it was just built up and it was over. Like they're cordial now. They'll never be cool. They're cordial.
Yeah, pretty much.
And the crazy thing is, they won a national championship together. People don't talk about that enough. They won a national championship together. These motherfuckers, but they're just competitive people, and I love that. It's like competition breeds character. You need that. You need that. They're successful because that's the way they are. Could they have won five? Probably not. It probably would have gotten maybe three. It was just too much. There's too much going on. So I love it. I think it's better than, to me, it's better than Last Dance because I feel like everyone is kind of free to say their piece. Whereas in the Last Dance, you could tell Jordan's like, hey, you can go here, but you can't go that far. With Jerry's like, yo, if you gotta say it, go right ahead. Troy Aikman is talking shit about Barry Switzer right there. Didn't matter.
Well, that was well known, though. That was well known that they didn't get along.
Yeah, but to hear it from Troy Aikman himself is different. Like to hear it from the reporters is one thing. To hear it from the players, I think that's just gave a better feel. And that's the thing. I'm telling you, don't hedge on anything, people. Go put all your chips at the table, balls to the wall.
Before you get the scumbag, I want to say this. The White House story is funny because all the players were like, nah, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. Mike Gordon was like, oh, I'll talk about
that. That's because that can get people's house in trouble. That's different. Because I know a lot of they wives watch like, well, I want to hear about the White. Wait a minute. You talking about the White House in D.C.? No, the White House that y'all was doing all that stuff, and I ain't got nothing to say about that.
Michael Irvin's like, hey man, you know what? We call strippers Lisa Ann.
But Michael Irvin, once again, he told it. No one else did, but he's like, you needed that. Michael Irvin was a really good add to it. I mean, you can tell he plays the line. Troy Aikman is, he's quiet and all. Michael Irvin, great pickup for that documentary.
Scumbag, what are your thoughts on the doc?
I think sometimes when I see docs like that and it talks about like stupid shit that's happened, that's been like the death of a dynasty type shit, I just find that shit fucking retarded. Like you really threw everything away over ego. And me watching the doc, I got to episode 6, but the Jerry Jones and the Jimmy Johnson thing, I think as you see, it's really Jerry. Because Jerry didn't know how to what did fucking The Rock say? Know your damn role. Mm-hmm. Know your role. That goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? And I think when there was in the meeting, when there was like people are gonna understand, like the actual evaluation of a player, all right, of creating systems, okay, finding the personnel to fit those systems, all right, finding the coaches. That's something that Jimmy was doing, all right. So Jimmy's sitting there. You saw what did Jimmy do? He got hired. He
Mhm.
divorced his wife.
Yeah, yeah,
He's like, I'm so into this, you gotta
He
leave.
divorced
yeah.
his wife because he was like, bro, I'm gonna fucking sacrifice everything to try and win. And I think Jerry, see, some people understand if you don't make, like, Jerry made sacrifices as far as the Cowboys, a
Yes.
business. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yeah.
But he had a wife, he had kids. Like, he didn't go that
Hmm.
far where he's like, bro, I'm getting rid of everybody. Every distraction you could think of is out my life. Like, that to me is like a crazy sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? And maybe they didn't get each other. You know what I'm saying? In that aspect. But what I'm saying for Jerry Jones to know his role was that, yeah, business wise, you did all this shit for the Cowboys, da 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 da, but that doesn't equate to on the field. And I think and what he got messed up on was that Skip Bayless was in the dock, and Skip Bayless
Oh
said,
God.
"Well, owners have to realize is that they'll never be accepted with the coaches because they weren't on the road evaluating these players, countless hours, sacrificing family life to study and create. Like you didn't do any of that,
Hmm.
so you'll
I
never be
know.
one of them." I think Jerry, when he explained it was when he won that championship in college, he always chased that. So when he bought the team, he got involved like he was a coach. Like he wanted to be one of the guys. You know what I'm saying? And Jerry's always been like that. And you see what he has relationship with his players. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? What did that one story that fucking Charles Helly said? That they hung out at a bar one night and
Yep.
they got fucking drunk as hell. And Charles Helly he jumped on Charles Helly's back of his bike and they went to another party and they fucking chilled all night and they just talked and they drank. That was the owner of the Dallas Cowboys doing that. Chilling
Yep.
with a player like you chill with your homeboy.
Yep.
Just going to bar drinking, talking shit. And it's like Jerry, he could have had a relationship with the players and all that shit, but on the field is where you had to draw the line at. He's on the field. He's there next to Jimmy Johnson when they're winning. He's clapping,
Yeah. Yep.
calling. He's like a fucking mascot. And it's like, I think Jimmy was cool with all that, even to that extent. But once he said, yo, we won because I picked the players, that's what Jimmy was like, time out, bro.
hmm,
Hold on now. And it's like, yeah, you're the general manager. And remember, they didn't say it, but they alluded to it. Because Jimmy was like, oh, they put cameras in the draft room. I didn't like that. I didn't want that. So Jerry said it. Jerry said he was like, oh, so there's gonna be cameras in here, like lean over, right, and then look at the
Hmm.
picture with me, and look like you're talking to me, and like he was staging all this shit, right?
yeah, yeah.
So Jimmy didn't want to do it. So then Jimmy said, all right, fuck it. You know what? You're trying to sell the business. You're my boy. We went to college together. You have to give me a chance. You gave me a shot to coach your team. Fuck it. We'll
Yeah.
we'll do the whole production. Not knowing that this was a setup. Where now if Jimmy goes, bro, you didn't pick any of the players. Look at the camera. What are you doing this with me for? Why are you doing this with me for? If I'm not making decisions, I'm on the phone. I'm talking to this fucking guy. I'm talking to that guy. You see me? Look at the camera. It's documented. That's where I think Jimmy lost it. Like, are you for real, bro? You're believing your fucking lie? You're believing your whole production? None of that
No.
happened. That's where the rift started. Jerry wanted to be the man so bad that he fucking lied. And what's crazy about Jerry is that he's hired maybe Bill Parcells after that. You know what I'm saying? But other than Bill Parcells, he's hired all puppets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's hired all puppets. He when Jerry finally went, this is how bullheaded he is. The dude's like 80, and he's like, "Yo, if I win one championship with the players I picked, with the coach that I picked, that had pretty much no input in any of this, and I win, that'll be the one ring that Jerry would love."
Oh, yeah, of course.
Because he knew Jimmy had
He
nothing to
would.
do with it. No one had nothing to do with it. It was all him.
And
Hey,
I think another thing is he likes the whole circus that the Cowboys that he created.
Yeah, he
I think
loves
he
it.
likes that more than any type of winning, honestly. And I think that's the most frustrating thing for Cowboys fans. It's like he loves the attention, he loves the spotlight, he loves all that comes with the fact that the Cowboys are probably one of the most popular teams on all of sports, not just in this country but around the world. I think he loves all that, and I think for a Cowboys fan, you're probably looking at it as like, all right, yeah, that's cool, but we want to win Super Bowls. That's what we want to win.
Yep.
I think,
And
I think
Yeah.
once you see how he got the Cowboys and how much sacrifices he made, and got his family involved off the rip, because he was taught that with his father. When his
Yeah.
father had the supermarket, everybody worked.
Mhm.
All the kids worked. The mom worked. Everybody worked. So when he was buying his businesses, when he started off, people don't know he was selling dresses and ties and shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He wasn't given a big type of thing. Yeah, his dad probably had the supermarket, and maybe his dad had some equity where he could probably give Jerry some bread. You know what I mean? But Jerry still took his dad's money and sacrificed that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because if you ain't making the money that your dad gave you back,
Yep.
that you crazy. You know what I mean? And I think for him to build that, right, and the Cowboys were popular when he got them,
Yep.
but to make
He
them even the most popular sports franchise in the fucking planet, you know what I mean? That's huge.
gotta give him a lot of credit.
You
Yep.
guys give him a lot of credit with that, and you see he creates the circus
Yep.
because it works.
Mhm.
Yep.
So that's all fine. You're making money. I think just the issue is he doesn't want to accept that he's not the football guy.
Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
And
That's a tough thing for him to accept.
he doesn't want to accept that. He doesn't want to be the owner. But
Yeah.
you need that. You need all dynamics. Listen, when the Bulls were under dynasty, they didn't like the dude. What Kraus, Jerry
Yeah,
Kraus.
Jerry
Jerry
Krause. Yeah.
They
Krause.
didn't like Jerry Kraus. But guess what? Kraus, the Bulls needed Kraus, and they needed Phil Jackson, and they needed Michael Jordan, and they needed Scottie Pippen, and they needed the fucking the coach that created the triangle. Who was it? Phil Jackson.
Yep.
Tex Winter. Tex
Te-
Winter.
Yeah, winner. They needed. That's how much you need to win a championship. All these pieces, everyone plays their fucking part.
Yep.
And look, and what hurt the Bull dynasty? What did Jerry Krause say?
Ego.
And then, I don't need Michael Jordan. I don't
Yep.
need da da da. I could
It's
draft
always ego.
Yeah.
off the. That's what rules these dynasties. Is
Yep.
the people who get too big for their bridges,
Hmm.
don't know their damn role, overstep their boundaries, and that's it. You know what I mean? And I feel like me, if I was the owner, I'll be like fucking the Patriots dude. I'll be fucking
Getting
out the
random
way, bro.
massages. Getting random
Out the
massages at
way.
massage houses.
I don't give a fuck. I think he has a perfect out the way, but still there kind of
Yeah.
like presence about him. You know what I mean? Because yeah, you gotta be out the way, but you still gotta be like, all right, this is my team,
Yeah.
and that's how he is. Like when he has to step in, like when they try to trade Tom Brady. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, I gotta step in now. You know what I'm saying? Like this is my team. You make the decisions, Bill. Football decisions. But as far as my team and what Tom Brady has sacrificed for this franchise, we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So
And he even admitted that the Gerard Mayo thing. He probably was like, I probably made a mistake there because he wasn't ready for that job, and he got rid of him, and then he got Mike Vrabel. So
yeah,
And Mike, once again, Mike Vrabel was ready for the job. He should have went with. But the thing with Jerry is, if he got out the way and just helped he I'll give him this. He still drafts pretty well. Like for an old man, he picked it. He did get CD. He did get Michael Parsons. If you were just
He
like,
drafted Dak.
yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say.
He drafted Zeke.
If you could
He
just
drafted
get,
DeMarcus Lawrence. He drafted
I'm telling you,
Sean Lee.
Thank you.
Sean
You
Lee.
can say all that
He drafted Diggs, the cornerback.
Yes.
Diggs.
Yes.
These are all drafted players.
He still knows football. You just need to find a way to get him, like you said, to take a step back and be like the owner. If you want to be like, hey, I like this guy, you can do that. Because Jerry, once again, he has a mind for football. These are talented people look at the people that's come back. These are talented people.
Yeah.
You just need to find a way to get him to.
You need a coach that actually knows football.
Yes.
You need another guy in there. Listen, I say with everything, bro. With everything, Jordan needed Pippen.
Yes.
Snoop Dogg needed Dr. Dre.
Yes.
Fucking Ice Cube needed Easy.
Yes.
Everybody got to play their part. Why do y'all do this? Why y'all rob us of greatness and great things out of ego and stupidity?
Yeah.
Know your fucking role. People get famous, people get money, and it changes their whole whole character. And it's like, dude, I don't get that shit. I mean, I never got into millions of dollars and tons of fame, so I don't know. And maybe now at 40, you know what I'm saying, I'll be more mature about it. But who knows when I'm 22 years old and I own the Cowboys? Yep. What the fuck are we doing?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'll be like, do you know who you're talking to?
Yeah.
Do you know who you're talking to? The best, most dominant owner of all time. Like, you know, you might snap into some shit like that. But I think that Jerry needs a guy to be like, what I'm saying, why those people need each other is because, yeah, you're great, you have an idea, right?
Yep.
But you need someone there to be like, whoa, but what about this point of view? And you got to have an ego and say, damn, I didn't look at it that way. All right, let's revamp it. All right, the idea is good, but if you take your point of view in and kind of switch it around and fix this corner here and edge this corner better, it makes the idea that much better. But people with ego get involved. Nah, we ain't doing it that way. Oh, but I felt like, nah, I'm the owner. My final decision. All right? Back up. Right there. You right there, that little exchange hurts the relationship.
Yep.
Because then now the coach is sitting there going, for real, bro? I thought you hired me to give my input. You know what I mean? Like, really? All right. And now everyone talks. People shut down. All right, word. Jerry Jones goes, how do you think about this player? Yeah, good. Awesome. Great. Awesome. Yeah, good. Draft him. I'll draft him now. All right, go ahead. Draft him. You're the best. You're the best. You're the GOAT. You're the GOAT. Draft him. Go ahead. That's it. Shit's fucking broken now. You know what I mean? The system's broken now. So, you know, sucks that happened, but better for me because I'm a Giants fan.
Oh, but into your
Jerry
point,
Jones, I hope you live to 150 because as long as you're around, the Cowboys will suck, and I will love every second of it.
But sure about John Mara though. I'm not. John Mara's not.
He's not too far off from Jerry. At least
yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's not like John Mara's
listen. You're listen. I know we beat the Patriots twice. All right.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that Eli Manning.
I knew he was gonna say
that.
No one's bringing that Super Bowl up. But anyway. I think the big thing between the Jerry and the Jimmy thing was then once they started winning, who started slipping their little nose in? The media. Because they're like, oh, who do you think? And then now it's everyone's ego. Oh, I hired Jimmy. No, but Jimmy's like, but I got the players. So now you start doing that, and the media was, because they do this all the time. They always try to split people up. They do it with Tom Brady and Belichick. Who gets more credit? The 60 or 40, 70?
Yeah, I hate those arguments.
But then the thing is, Jerry and Jimmy are both prideful. So now it's like, oh, that's why I said the Bob Costas interview, that's some slimy shit by Bob Costas. Because he was asking, he's like, do you know more? And then Jimmy's like, while Jerry's sitting right there, I was like, oh, now I know what the fuck was up. Y'all wanted to split this shit up. They didn't. They saw it.
It's all about ratings.
Yeah, NBC had that Super Bowl that year. NBC had that Super Bowl that year. So.
Oh my God. So now Jerry's not backing down, and Jimmy's not backing down. So now they button heads,
Yeah.
and immediately them backed out. They're like, "Oh, y'all fight it out." Now you saying 500 coaches could have coached the team to the Super Bowl? That was the final straw. Jimmy's like, "Get me the fuck out of here."
Yeah.
Which was dumb, by the way.
But once again, it had already been stirred up.
What people don't understand too is that once you find lightning in a bottle, you gotta try and keep that jar as much. Eventually, the jar is gonna shake up and it's gonna open up and lightning's gonna shoot out the bottle. But you gotta try and keep it together because one day Tom Brady's gonna get old. Yeah, one day Jordan's gonna get old. Yeah, one day Jackson's gonna retire. Or maybe one day not even the game might pass by them. The younger players come in and they're just better and faster and smarter, and the rules change. And look at guys like Bill Belichick can't coach no more because they're too old school.
Yeah.
So sometimes the game passes you by, it happens. But when it's working, you got to keep it intact as much as possible. And sometimes people don't understand that. Like, I saw an interview with Martin, and they asked him, "Oh, would you do a reunion show? Like, do a show with all the castmates?" He said, "Without Tommy, I would never do another Martin."
Yeah, you can't.
That's fair.
He's like, "You caught lightning in a bottle. You can't reenact that chemistry." You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. You know what I mean? And I think that's what. Sometimes when you're in it, you don't realize that kind of shit. You know what I mean?
That's very true.
And like you just got to keep it intact as much as possible. Everybody plays their part, and you got to understand that as a person. You got to be humble, and you can't be full of ego to understand that everyone matters. From the guy sweeping the fucking floor, okay? All of it matters. You know what I mean? All of it matters, and you got to look at it that way.
I think my last takeaway is just how different the football was in the 90s. I mean, you saw that Troy Aikman, he got a concussion that NFC Championship game back in 1993, and then he played the following week in the Super Bowl, and he wasn't effective. Today, it'd be like, hey, he's not playing at all.
Yeah.
And it was just a physical game. And you saw why the NFC was the dominant conference back in the 90s. It's like whoever won those 49ers Super Bowls, 49ers Cowboys NFC Championship games, they won the Super Bowl that year. And nowadays it's a different game. It's not worse or bad or whatever. It's just different. That's how I look at it.
It was more physical back then.
Yeah.
Yes, way more physical.
Yeah. They tried to hurt you too, bro. That was insane.
Yeah.
Like, players talk about it. They tried to hurt the quarterback.
Yes.
Yeah, Charles Haley, I think he sat Steve Young, and he just sat on him.
Yeah, sat on him. Yeah. They're trying to take you out, man. Like,
yeah. You remember when Bill Ornowski was breaking people's fingers in the pile and trying to gouge your eye out and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was serious.
Think about it. He talked about Charles Haley bullied him. Think about that. Bill Ornowski, who has his problems and is known for, like you said, scumbag, all the things he was doing. Think about it. If he's getting bullied by Charles Haley, Charles Haley was.
If that psycho has a bully.
Yeah.
That's how crazy the NFL was, bro. That a dude like that had a fucking bully.
Yeah.
You got Charles Haley throwing helmets and threatening, like he threw his helmet into like, yo, you got to sign
at the owner.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
And I remember Jerry had to tell him, like, dude, you need to chill the fuck out because
you almost got cut that day.
Yeah, like the fuck, like
What he did to the 49ers owner?
He took his dick out and pissed on the fucking on the owner's desk.
Gotta go.
I'm like, yo, it was just wild back then. You imagine hearing that today. They'd be like, what?
No, he's out the league.
Yeah,
he's out the league.
They blackball you for less.
And in prison. And canceled on social media.
Bro, his career is over. Oh my gosh.
Yo, what if Shador didn't do that? And they didn't draft him. So imagine. Did Shador do that? Because he had to treat him like this.
I don't understand.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna probably see the last 2 episodes today.
Yeah,
it's a good, really good watch. And we over here joking, but guys, it's a really good watch. Yeah, I think it doesn't even do too much of X and O's for football. It's about culture and personality and egos and like business. Yeah. So give it a watch. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
All right. The next topic: Tank Davis and Jake Paul are going to have an exhibition bout. It will take place at State Farm Arena on November 14th on Friday on Netflix. Gervonta Davis is rumored to be making anywhere from $30 to $40 million for the fight. So obviously that's probably why he's taking the fight. The criticism for Davis as he didn't want to face off against Lamont Roach Jr. People were thinking that boxing has become more like WWE, and him taking a payday instead of enhance his legacy. Taking that Lamont Roach Jr. fight. So yeah, my thoughts are quickly hey, he's about the money. He's pretty much told you this. I've heard many interviews in the past where he's like, hey, it's just about the money. So you getting $30-40 million allegedly to fight Jake Paul in an exhibition showdown? He's gonna take it. Do I wish he could? Do I wish he would fight Lamont Roach Jr.? Yeah, but Jamonte's saying, hey, I'm all about the money. I'm all about the money. So my thing is, hey, are you gonna make this a real fight, or are you gonna give Jake Paul something here? That's my only question. So, Saints out. What are your thoughts on this exhibition fight?
This is why people think boxing is a joke, because they do bullshit like this and then try to be like, oh, well, it's an exhibition. It's this. First of all, when you read their stats, they should not be fighting. Jake Paul is 6'1". Tank Davis is 5'5". Right there. Come on. Then the weight. Jake Paul is 200 pounds. 200 pounds. Tank Davis is 133 pounds. Dog. The reach, 6'4", 5'7". Yo, come on, man. Like, yo, listen, I get you want money and stuff like that, but for boxing fans, I know Scumbag McGee's a really good. That shit looks stupid. That means y'all just putting together fights just for money, just because it's names and it's Jake Paul. And I don't like stuff like that, and it does look like WWE. And honestly, they should feel ashamed putting this shit together. Like, I know people are gonna watch, but as boxing fans, I think they shouldn't watch this shit. This shit looks like a setup. This looks like a circus. This shit looks like a circus, and they know they're gonna make money off of it. That's the stupid shit about it. Like, they shouldn't have even been in the same weight class. That's fucking ridiculous. There's 70 pounds over him, but you're gonna let him fight just to get a payday. All right, boxing, keep ruining your legacy. You got it.
I can see from Scumbag's face that he's not happy.
He know. I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, this shit looks stupid. Like,
it does.
I was going. I'm like, yo, what? They shouldn't be fighting. They should not be fighting. You don't do that.
Yeah, as a boxing fan, I just feel like, well, the thing about Jake Paul, right? And I don't know exactly how the man is. Never met him before in my life, but as far as how he feels about fighters, he actually speaks up for them.
Yes.
Like, he's spoken up against how Dana White fights at UFC.
Yeah.
And if you see, everybody he fought in the beginning was UFC fighters who probably got paid the most they ever got paid in their life.
Yeah, he pays his people.
Dana White be screwing them over. You know what I mean? And come to find out, where I saw an interview where Cam and Mace had Tyson on there and Teofimo Lopez, they spoke about how boxers don't get paid the money on TV. They just don't get paid it. Think about that.
Yep.
Your contract says you're supposed to get paid this, and the guy says, I don't got it. Yeah, but you're supposed to pay me this, what the contract says. Yeah, but tough cookies. Anyway, I got this guy to fight for you. They got to fight the next fight to get. You just don't get the money? I never heard of that. That's insane.
Yep.
Jake Paul actually came in, was giving everybody their money.
Yep.
But this is where you fall into a tricky situation. Now, Jake Paul was fighting UFC fighters. Now they're going fight a boxer, fight a boxer, fight a boxer. So he fought this guy's son or nephew or some shit, Fury's nephew. Or,
Yeah. One of them.
Something, yeah.
Yeah. I think they went like 12 rounds. It was a good boxing fight. And Fury's nephew came out on top. So yeah, but that didn't get nothing. That didn't get no money. So what did he do? Get Tyson.
Yeah.
So I know Tyson's nephew. I think I said this on the pod one time. So Tyson's nephew is like a real close family friend. I seen him at a family fucking event, and he had pictures of him at the fucking uh MGM where it happened, and Las Vegas, and they were at a big dinner table, all the family and all this shit. And this is before the fight. This is like motherfuckers is like celebrating because after the fight he finds out, bro, that shit was mad shit in the contract. And it leaked out. Mad people was mad. I think Michael Irvin spoke about it. A couple of people spoke about it that they were hearing rumors about that.
Yeah.
And it was rumors, but I'm getting it straight from Mike Tyson's nephew. You know what I'm saying? Blood nephew. No bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? This shit was rigged. The shit was rigged. They didn't want him. They didn't want him hitting him. This is
clean. Yep.
This was in the contract. You know his body uppercut, famous thing. He couldn't do that at all.
Yeah.
That was banned from the fight and other shit. But I think a lot of people didn't really go into the rumors and really try to figure it out and all this shit because Tyson's 60 or
58,
58. So at 58 years old, he made $20 million. Whatever. You know what I mean? But now, as now, I see as your reputation as a boxer, it's bullshit now.
Mm-hmm.
It's bullshit now. So this fight is bullshit. Then you make it even more bullshit by the weight and height difference. You know it's bullshit.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
You know it's bullshit. So it's a waste. Now, on the boxing side, Tank just showing he's a pussy. He's showing he's a pussy. You know what I mean? I mean, you haven't fought one champion, not one, in your division.
Mm-hmm.
You're basically holding your division up from a boxer becoming an undisputed champion because you are not fighting anybody with a belt.
Yep.
Then Lamont Roach gives you a run for your money, and you take your fucking box and leave. Because now you have no excuse now where the position of where Tank is at. Tank can say, oh, it's about money, it's about business. That was his thing for a long time. Okay, these Turks came in, or Saudi Arabians, or whoever the fuck is coming in.
Yep.
Who you want? You want Shakur Stevenson versus who? Shakur. They're backing Shakur. I want Tank. All right, let's get Tank. Yo, Tank, what you want? Tank probably don't want to fight Shakur. Hey, you know what? Give me 30 mil.
Yeah.
All right, how about 40? Huh? Yeah, I'll give you 40. What's up?
Yeah, that's what he's making.
Matter of fact, I'll fight Jake Paul. What?
For 40 million.
That's what happened. You know, it's like, what are you talking about? First you said it was the money. Now you got the money, and now you don't want to do it because he don't want to fight those. He don't want to fight. He don't want to fight a battle. You know what I mean? And Tate's a good fighter. That Lamont Roach fight was close.
Yeah, I heard about it. Yeah.
Even though it was bullshit, I got gel in my eye. Oh shit. That was bullshit. But the fight was a good fight. It was a back and forth fight. You don't even want a back and forth fight, bro. You just don't want to deal with that. You just don't want to deal with those fights. He wants to knock a motherfucker out and get money, and that's it. You know what I mean? He don't want those bang out fights. He knows that him fighting Shakur, you ain't knocking him out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna knock him out. It's gonna be a 12-round fight.
And you might lose.
You know, you might lose by decision because Shakur's a scorecard guy. You can't hit him, but he hits the shit out of you.
Yeah,
He's knocking you out, but he's hitting you 100 fucking times. His fucking hit rate's at 58%. You know what I mean? When you score the copy box numbers at the end of the fight, Shakur smoked the guy. You think the fight's close? You're like, oh man, this fight's close. Shakur hit fucking 50% of his jabs, 48% of his power punches. You missed 1,000 times. You lost.
Yeah, that was with Mayweather. That was Mayweather. It's like he was just
Mayweather did that at a higher level. That's it.
Yeah.
Mayweather was, but Mayweather, I don't want to talk about it. He fought everybody to me at times where he felt he could beat them. Like, fuck out of here. Everybody you fought, you waited on, the fuck out of here. And you almost got knocked out by an old Sugar Shane.
Yeah.
You waited dumb long to fight Sugar Shane. He almost knocked you out at fucking 38. He fought Oscar De La Hoya. What was Oscar? 37.
He gave him problems.
Oscar gave him a run for his money.
He gave him problems.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I didn't want to talk about. I mean, I love Floyd as far as like, you know, what he brought to boxing and all that other shit. Like I respect all that. I really do. And how he was a champion at every level, you know. But some of those fights to me, like his last fight, what was it? This the fucking French guy. How was that a last fight? That was terrible, terrible. But anywho's, I think that it hurts boxing because I think boxing's coming back into it. Shakur's getting the matches he wants. The last fight he had, I actually went and saw it. Good, it was a good matchup.
Yeah, you did,
Yeah, it was a good matchup. Cepedes or his name is Cepedes, what his name is. He gave him a good fight. He gave him a good fight. It was a good fight, and I think that's what these guys are basically. They're getting the boxers right, and the boxers want. Listen, this fight right here is fire. I feel like if I box this guy, I could get you some money, and the guys are paying for it. They're listening to the boxers sound happy from what interviews I've seen. I don't see anybody bitching right now. They're like, these guys came in and they're paying us. So this just knocks it back a little bit. Because Tate should be fighting Lamont Roach again. That would be a big fight right now. If you're not fighting Lamont, you still got fucking Haney. You got fucking Shakur Stevenson. You got Teofimo Lopez. You got guys.
Yeah.
Look at Shakur now. I love Shakur. He's trying to fight Teofimo right now. They're on Twitter arguing back and forth, trying to create a fight. And
we need.
You know what I mean? So it knocks it, like I said, it knocks boxing back a little bit, but whatever. This fight will just go on, and hopefully, you know what's gonna happen? They don't get no ratings for that. I'm not watching this shit. I swear to God, I'm not watching.
That's what I said. You gotta do.
I'm not watching
it because you gotta think about it. Like just come back to his point. Tank Davis said to earn $40 million. He's like, I can get $40 million and play around for 12 rounds and not get knocked out, and I don't have to throw as many jabs, or I can get 35 and go face.
And who knows what comes out of it? Now you're fighting with Jake Paul? Do you get like a movie guy to see you, and they're all gonna put him in a movie?
Yeah.
Or da-da-da. You get there, right? You don't know what the deals are.
Yep.
What if the deal is, yo, Jake, I'll fight you, but bro, next time you do a movie, I want to be in it. Yo, next time, da-da-da, I want to be there. Okay, yo, David, take this. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to a movie premiere with a bunch of directors. You want to come with me? I'll introduce you to them. Da-da-da. You don't know what all this is going to come out of it. Yeah. It looks like Tate just wants out of boxing.
Yeah.
So he's trying to get out. And he wants to leave unscathed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Perfect way for him, too. Like, yo, we did a good fight. Jake puts his arm around him. They taking pictures. He's out. Now the divisions now look a little shaky. So
if he wants to build his legacy, which he can change his mind and want to build a legacy, then you know what to do. You gotta come fight Lamont again. You gotta fight Lamont. You gotta fight Shakur. Those are two guys you gotta fight. Shakur and Lamont. Those are two guys you gotta fight. And I think if you beat Lamont decisively the second time and you beat Shakur, you knock out Shakur, you're solidified.
Yep.
We'll shut the fuck up.
Yep.
We'll shut the fuck up. You know what I mean?
But if not, this is going everyone to look at you, be like, yo, you had a chance to go fight Lamont or Shakur. You went to go fight Jake? Oh yeah, but he paid. Oh, okay. That's what you wanted. Yeah. Listen, you gotta live with the stuff your actions have consequences, my guy. They have consequences.
Yeah. My thing is how's this gonna set up in terms of who wins this? That's all I want to know. That's it. That's how I want to know.
Bro, they talk about that. They're gonna be like, hey, remember, you can't throw too many combos. You can throw it straight, all right? Because what's gonna be? They're not gonna let him do everything he wants. They're gonna tone it down. They're gonna be like, yo, you can probably hit him once or twice, but then you ease up a little bit. Come on, they need ratings. They're gonna
Mayweather, Logan Paul. You saw a lot of times that Mayweather held up. He pulled up. Mm-hmm. So it's like whatever.
You're not gonna let him do a lot of combos. It's exhibition. You're trying to get fans to watch boxing, which is not gonna do because boxing fans are gonna be like, he shouldn't be in there with him. But they want people to get their money, so they're gonna stretch this thing out as long as they can. So that's why I'm like, yo, it doesn't really matter. They don't do the same thing. Oh, judges card tied or it's just nonsense, bro. Like boxing don't need that. Like Scumbag McGee said, you can be working on something really hot, but y'all want to do first. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Before we get to Pepper Takes, a word from our sponsors, Saint Za.
Thank you once again for Nickel Pass for all the room. We will be there the fall. So I'm looking forward to being in the building with my boys again. Get PGN in person. It's coming soon, guys. It's coming soon.
So
Word.
before we go, just talk a little bit of Nickel Pass and what they do. Just
Oh, Nickel Pass. They're social media for all news websites. So if you want to get New York Times, uh, Wall Street, you want to get any of those sites, Boston Journal, they are all on one side. Download Nickel Pass. It's only $20 a month. Please support the business.
all right. Now we get to Pepper Takes, and our first Pepper Take is PlayStation. They made an announcement saying that they will raise 50%. I mean $50 for all their PlayStation consoles. So that is their PlayStation 5, which is going from 500 to now 550. Their digital edition goes from 450 to 500, and their Pro edition goes to 700 to 750. My thoughts are, hey, um, we see what's going on with this administration. I don't want to get too political, but I'm just saying this is what you businesses wanted. You wanted this. This is what you guys wanted, and now who's hurting from this? Us. We're hurting from all this. So now, hey, now we got to make decisions. Can we get that PlayStation now? Maybe I got to cut back a little bit on that. Maybe not to get that PlayStation, or maybe I can't get this luxury item because now it's more money because of these tariffs. So yeah, that's just basically what it is. It's just unfortunate. It's like these businesses are like, hey, they thought it was going to go one way, it's going the other way, and now they got to, they got the profit margins they got to look at. So they got to be like, all right, we got to raise the prices here, and as a consumer, we got to be like, either I got to buy this at more higher price, or I got to be like, you know what, I don't got it right now. I can't buy it right now. So those are my thoughts. Scumbag McGee, what are your thoughts on PlayStation rising the prices as a result of the tariffs?
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like everybody's raising their prices.
Yep.
I feel like everybody's raising their prices. I don't know. Is he blaming on the tariffs, or is that just an excuse? You know what I mean?
Probably a
I
little bit
really,
of both.
yeah. I mean, I don't know at this point because I don't want to make it too political. I know you brought up the whole, this administration and them raising the tariffs. I'll have to really do my due diligence on that. That's like a whole deep thing.
Yeah.
I did that one time when people were worried about when the tariffs were coming into effect, and then at the last minute he pulled back from Canada and everybody, whatever,
Mhm.
and they renegotiated and went to the table. Um, that scare came and went. I feel like a lot of scare things that people try to scare us about with Trump come and go. You know what I mean? So it's something I got to really do my research on. I don't know if it's going because it's bullshit or it's going because it's just the world. Like it's news for a week and then it's not news anymore. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So I don't know a lot of what his policies have been affecting. That's the type of shit you really got to deep dive into. Um, but me personally, um, in general, you just gotta now that you're in a time where you gotta budget your money and what you gotta what is important to spend on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I felt like when we was in the '90s and shit, there was a lot of luxury, '90s, early 2000s, where you had the money to do all of that to get a PlayStation, and this shit was like, getting a PlayStation back in the day was like 250. Like I think everybody,
Yeah.
most of
Yeah.
them had a PlayStation. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
I did.
This shit is so expensive now, you can't. You know what I mean? It's easier to just buy your kid a PC. You know
Uh-huh.
what I'm saying? Like, it lasts way longer. The games are better.
Yep.
It's just make no sense to buy a PlayStation or Xbox right now. You know what I mean? And it's like that's also probably why they're raising the prices because they're feeling the effects. You know what I mean? Of what's going on. Maybe it's streaming that
Yep.
people aren't playing games as much anymore. You know, I don't know what's going on, but it could be that. Think about what really is hot out there. Like besides the 2Ks and the Maddens and remember when Call of Duty dropped back in the day? It was like, oh shit. Remember when?
GTA and all them stuff.
Yeah, remember when fucking what was the other one? Halo. Halo came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was yeah.
Halo. Like those games don't exist no more.
Nope.
I don't hear about these releases. And maybe people used to wait online outside of GameStop to get the new Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
That shit gone now. So there could be it's the tariffs, but it's reality. You're probably losing bread because they don't want to
Yeah.
play no more.
Mhm.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So, like I said, I got to do my due diligence on the whole shit to really see if that's what the case is. Cause and me, I just budget my money, bro. I don't need a PlayStation. I'm good. I'm already paying $80 a month to fucking watch Sports Center on fucking the ESPN app.
That's true.
I'm
That's
already
true.
paying for that shit. That takes up
Wait,
all
wait
my
till
bills
that.
right there.
Wait till that shit goes up.
You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So nah, but you know, everything's up, man. Groceries is nuts up. This groceries is nuts right
Yo, I went
now.
shopping, bro.
Yeah,
Bought like a
yeah.
couple of things. You talking about like 50, 60? I'm like, yo, wait a minute, bro. Like, I didn't even get they didn't even get the regular, the real stuff across. I was like, nah, bro.
Yeah.
Bump tariffs, bro.
That
Like,
I went food shopping 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks, I said, no, I'm gonna keep up with it. If
um,
that's why I'm spending so much, So I gotta keep up with it. I'm going after like every once a month. So I spent like 200 2 weeks ago, right? So I go back to pick up, knickknacks and shit. Oh yeah, 177. I'm like, what?
yep,
I'm like, what the fuck? Like, yo, I'm gonna be spending 430 dollars, $50 a month on myself.
yep.
Yeah, imagine, yeah, like that's why I'm like when I go grocery shopping, I had to cut back on some stuff I bought in the past, and I'm like, man, this is just me. Imagine if you got two kids, that's like in the 200 and $300 range. I'm like, whew.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how they do it, but it's
I don't know
tough,
how,
man.
they don't know how scumbag he does. You got a teenager, bro, and they eat like there's no tomorrow, bro. Just consume stuff, bro. Like, yo, I just got home. Don't open that.
Yeah.
Don't open that, man.
Well, he's here 3 days a week. It's not 7 days a week.
Okay,
So that's
still.
what. If it was 7 days a week, then I'll be in trouble. Be in
Yo,
trouble.
because trust and believe, and now he's gonna be playing sports. So like now you gonna eat. Oh my god, yo, bro. Listen. Send $20 to come back McGee way because he got a whole teenager playing sports and
Yeah.
stuff. You got to, man.
They
But
gotta they
like,
gotta have no vices, bro. It'll be a wrap. It'll be over. Jesus. Yeah,
oh,
you gotta be disciplined in this economy now.
yeah.
2000s, man, your parents were reckless. They were fucking alcoholics. They had 3, 4 kids.
Oh my
And,
god.
I think about it all the time, and I probably mentioned it on the pod before. How the fuck did our fucking grandparents and great grandparents have 15 kids
Yeah.
and one job? Only the father worked. What?
Uh,
If you have 3 kids right now, you have to work. Your wife has to work. If your son is 16, he has to
it's
work.
the work. Yeah.
Yeah.
He has to fucking work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how crazy it is out here, bro. Nuts.
And people forget daycare is expensive. You're talking about like 1,500 for like I like my boy talking. I'm like, yo, 1,500 for daycare. That kid better come home washed, fed for the whole fucking night. Don't talk to you. But like, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
But like going to the PS4 thing. Luckily, I have a PS5. Luckily, I have a PS4, so I can trade in, get $150. But even that, I'm like, that's still not rate. That's still $400 coming out the pocket. And I'm just like, yo, dog, it's not worth it right now, man. Like the tariffs, like, listen, everything's fucking expensive. Everything is fucking expensive, guys. Like, yo, you just have to budget your money. Like, buy things that you can afford. If you want to go on that vacation, you got to cut back on some stuff. That's all it is. Like people want to blame terrorists. We know, like we said, we're not going the politics route because it's easy. It's easy thing to point out on. That's the easy thing. But listen, it's been expensive for a minute out here. Like we calling shit a spade ever since
The
COVID ended.
pandemic, pretty much. Yeah.
It's been fucking expensive, and I think that's one thing we all need to come to a conclusion. So y'all want to sit here, blame it on this, blame it on that. Shit been expensive since we've been out the house. So let's call it real. Let's call it right down the line. This shit been expensive, bro. Like, listen, man, you go outside, you spending $70 minimum, $70. That shit's crazy, bro. I can't believe this bullshit.
Yep.
Uh-uh. Uh-uh.
All right, the last pepper take. I saw this last night. It was by a Twitter user named Ash underscore Cash. That's two A's and two H's. And she said a man actually gains more hoes when posting his girl. So I saw the comments. I saw the comments on this, and a lot of them agreed. A lot of them were like, "Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true." So
It's
my thoughts
very
are,
true.
it's like, when you see something and you see somebody with somebody else, whether that's a man or a woman, especially if that person's attractive, you're probably like, oh, why is that the case? I'm interested about this. I want to know why. So, you try to investigate why. It's curiosity. As they say, curiosity kills the cat. And I think that's what it comes down to here. It's just like, people are always interested in terms of when you see something like that. You see,
They want their cat killed. That's the
yeah,
problem.
yeah. That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll take it these days. You're well versed on stuff like this. So
Listen, you got to realize the thing about this. A lot of women are attention seeking. I wanted to say something else, but I'm not going to say it because I have a lot of cousins who are heavy handed. So, but like a lot of women are they're attention seekers. So it's like the minute you don't give them attention, they're gonna be like, yo, well, why'd you stop talking to me? Yo, you used to be in my DMs. Why you not talking to me no more? Yo, you post your girl. Like I see a little girlfriend. Oh Lord, now you gotta hear about that. Now they like because one thing girls once they start investigating, they try to figure out what she about and all that stuff. Oh, I saw your little funky girlfriend. Like, yo, dog, listen, one thing about women can be spiteful. You gotta stay away from a lot of I'm not talking about all of you, but 95% of you guys are very, not mean, but you can be like, yo, once that dude stop giving you attention, now you're invested in him. Now you want to know what he's doing, right? But you wasn't doing this when I was single. This don't make sense. Listen, don't try to understand them. Just try to live your life, bro, because they gonna be there regardless. That's all I gotta say on this. It's gonna make. I know you about to go on a rant, so it's up to you.
Nah, I think two things work here. It's women look at if you have a girl, it's like what is he doing that's keeping her? So is that mystery that they want to figure out?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And the other part of it is that women just hate women. You know what I'm saying? It's a
That's
competition thing.
not that's not far off.
Yeah, it's a competition thing. It's very you may see it on social media a lot, but it's not a lot. Like women, like a real woman friendship, it's rare to be honest.
Yeah,
I think like a man friendship, a real man friendship, it doesn't come like super a lot, but way more frequent than a real woman friendship. Like
yeah.
me personally, from the women I've known and hung out with and met, like their best friend is not really their friend. Like I don't know how
You,
to, you know what I mean?
you.
It's a weird dynamic they got. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I think it's always kind of like they're real catty. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I think as women, they understand that, and they probably keep their distance a little bit, or maybe they don't do certain things or tell them certain things because they know how they're gonna act. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I feel like there's always that weird dynamic between women where it's always like secret competition or secret hate between them, and that could be part of it. She might see your girl and be like, "What if she got that I don't got?" You know what I mean? Like, oh, she could have him, but I can't. You know what I mean? But
Shit.
me
Yeah.
personally, just of personal experience, I've never seen like an uptick in pussy when I had a girl. Like I didn't see an uptick of attention. You know what I mean? It's kind of the same thing to me. You know what I mean? Like on the same level. Me personally, like
Mhm.
you know, girls like you if you have a girl or not. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They like you. They like you. They don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And that's all I gotta say about that. You know what I mean? Like it's not crazy. And like I said, me personal experience, I never experienced it. I've If a girl wants to fuck me, she's gonna fuck me whether I have a girl or not. Like that, it don't fucking matter. She's gonna be like, now I want to fuck. Like I say, I see a girl right, and I'd be like, oh, let's chill, blah blah blah, and she's like, nah, you're not my type. I don't fucking like you. You're ugly. You look like shit. But I call my girl instead of coming instead I say, oh, now I want to fuck him. I never seen that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if people have those kind of stories, then let me know because I haven't witnessed it. Like, if a girl don't want to fuck you, she don't want to fuck you. If you don't, if you're not, you have your girl, you're gonna make her want to fuck you now. It just ain't gonna happen. So I don't know. I think it's bullshit. You know what I mean? But if it does exist, if it really does happen out there a lot, tell me the story. And I feel like those two reasons would be the reason why, if that's the case. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Has to do with they want the guy because they're thinking, how's he keeping her? Is he fucking her good? Is he like romantic? Is he what is it? You know what I mean? And it's because women hate women, but I haven't experienced it, so whatever.
I think the woman hating woman thing is kind of accurate. And even if you don't want to say women hate women, I think women know women, so they always know, hey, I'm gonna keep you at arm's bay. I need to see what you, where guys, we don't really care about that. Yo, what's up, man? Yo, you doing? We not, but women, because they know how they work, they know how their
Yeah.
minds work. So it's kind of like, yo, what you plotting? Why you over here? Why you talking to him? Why you? I didn't like him, but why do you like him? And what is he doing that's keeping you here? So then that's what starts playing in their mind. Now it's like, okay, now I need to see what's you about. Now that's when they start going to investigator and detective and doing listen. It's just a really weird thing. I get it. I get it. Why? But like I'm just like, yo, dog, like if you liked him before, you could have just said that. But you know what it is? Women like having options, and they always can get options. So it is what it is. And now you disappear one of the options. Why you disappear? I got four. Now I got three. What's going on? What happened to that fourth one? That doesn't they start now they start taking a keen interest because now you're not giving them as much attention. And like I said, it's an attention thing. It's an attention thing, and like Scumbag McGee said, women hate women. So yeah. It's a little I couldn't live like that.
Yeah.
All right, that wraps it up. So once again, you can follow us on PGN Pod. That's on Twitter. That is TikTok. That's YouTube, and that's also Instagram as well. So for Scumbag McGee, for Saint Zod, this is KDAP. Thanks for listening and watching, and we will see you next week.
Peace.
Peace.